Shane, AR had 13 college starts. He's now had 13 NFL starts. What have you seen? I guess any changes at all, if you've seen any from the college quarterback he was to now being a pro in 2 years in.
Yeah, I've seen great growth in a lot of phases. His pocket presence has been really strong the last couple of weeks. He's delivering the ball where it needs to go. He's making a ton of plays with his legs, which is great. And we just got to continue that, these next 4 weeks for sure.
Does it feel like it was that long ago that you're watching this film, or how do you view just being his coach for 2 years now?
Yeah, I mean, time's flying by for sure. But again, shoot, he's almost done with year two, and he's been making strides for sure.
Joel?
I know it's early. Do you have any injury updates so
I
far with guys
yeah,
coming
I
back in?
don't. Yeah, all the injury stuff. We'll meet tonight on that stuff, so I might have some more updates for you guys on Wednesday.
Nate?
Hey, Shane, I was just curious if anything's different for you handling the bye week as a head coach versus as a coordinator. And I mean, do you
What's
work
that?
in the whole time or do you give yourself?
Oh yeah, I got you. I got you. Do I work?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
I worked a good chunk of the week, but I did take some time with the family, hung out with my son and my daughter and my wife a little bit over the weekend, and so that part was good. But got a head start on Denver a little bit, this past week, and working on them now as well.
Bob?
Yeah, Shane, before the benching, Anthony was running about three and a half times a game. Now he's running, I believe, 7.6 times a game. Was that a philosophical shift in your mind, or is that just kind of how the game played out?
I think it's a little bit. I think it's a little bit of both. I think they took away some of that stuff early, but again, we have maybe more design runs than we did before, where he's truly keeping it. So I would say that's true, Bob. But also, obviously, we're trying to see what the defense does. Whether he which will dictate whether he keeps it or not. But obviously, he's been carrying the ball more for sure.
Kevin?
Shane, is there anything in your history playing in Denver that you learned like altitude wise, or is that overblown?
Well, I know this: the ball carries pretty well. So kickers, the field goal lines, where they're at, obviously that backs up a little bit depending on the weather. It's supposed to be pretty nice, it looks like, on Sunday. That could change, but obviously same thing with the ball flight, throwing the football. So I think the ball carries a lot more, and obviously altitude-wise, just got to prepare the players for that as well.
And then defensively, how would you evaluate the job Gus has done with your defense so far?
I think Gus has done a great job. Obviously, early on in the year, we had some stuff, but we got it cleaned up. But I think overall, we're keeping the points down, which is a good thing. And again, the biggest thing right now, we just don't want to give up the explosives. That's a big thing with the bye week, looking at offense and defense. Offensively, we got to do a really good job of taking care of the football going forward, improving that area. And then on the flip side, defensively, just eliminate the explosives.
Joel?
He's muted.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go JJ. We'll come back to Joel.
Shane, how do you kind of approach this week in talking to the guys about the implications of this game? Like, do you have to educate them, but do you also have to prevent maybe them getting like consumed by it, if that makes any sense?
I think the biggest thing, JJ, is we got to treat this. We all know we're not going to be oblivious, to how big this game is, but we know that we got to handle our business and we got to prepare the right way and go play a football game. That's going to be the main message.
For Denver's defense, they've been pretty stout this year. Just what do you see in how Vance Joseph has kind of schemed things up, and then some of the stars they have like Benito and Surtain on that side of the ball?
Yeah, Surtain's a hell of a football player on the outside. I think he does a really good job. He's multiple with his coverages. He mixes those things up. His fronts, he gets into different fronts out of his nickel stuff, which he does a good job there too. So they do a good job. They're aggressive in nature. And so they've been playing really good football defensively.
Joel?
Gus and Sean Payton have obviously gone against each other a bunch of times, being in the league as long as they have. Is there anything different about going up against somebody you've, game planned against for a decade or whatever?
Yeah, I think there's always the cat and mouse game when you go against certain coaches that you've gone against for so many years. And I think, obviously, I'm not speaking for them, but obviously you'll probably go back and watch different tapes from the years past and go there and see if there's still the same tendencies. Every year is a new year, but see if there's some tendencies that carry over from year to year with those guys going back and forth.
Couple more here, Steven.
Hey Shane, as you guys go down the stretch here, I mean, the games are going to be meaningful. What do you think, or how do you think Anthony will benefit from playing in big, games that mean a lot? I mean, I don't know that he had a lot of that in college, maybe even. So, what do you think?
I think they're huge. Obviously, when you're playing meaningful football in December, I think it's big. I think it's real big. So to have an opportunity to go on the road in an environment that I'm sure will be electric on Sunday, they got a lot to play for. We got a lot to play for. So I think it'll be good in his development to play, in these type of environments and on the road in these type of situations, for his development for sure.
Is that just something you kind of have to go through as a young quarterback to understand it and to know that you can handle it?
Yeah, I think so. I think when you get in those environments, those are big for any young player, especially big games, meaningful football in December. Just the magnitude of all of it as it gets going, gets bigger and bigger. So it'll be great for his growth, great for his development for sure.
Thanks.
We'll do two more here. We'll go James and then Kevin.
Shane, what's been your impression of Bo Nix? And do you watch other quarterbacks in classes, even if you're not, your team's probably not going to draft a quarterback? Like, how do you go?
You always watch all the quarterbacks every year, just like every position. You watch everything. But yeah, he's been doing a hell of a job. He's playing really good ball right now. I think the biggest thing, he's throwing the ball accurately, and he's making a lot of plays with his legs and creating. So it'll be a hell of a challenge for us on Sunday because he's playing really good ball right now.
Then last one, Kevin.
Shane, kind of a random one. Apologize if I'm catching you off guard, but Purdue hired Barry Odom from your alma mater. Do you cross paths with him at all? Do you know him at all? Anything you can share with Purdue fans?
Yeah, I don't know him at all, but I'm excited for him. Obviously, a UNLV guy coming to Purdue, state of Indiana. I think it's a great hire. I really do. What he was able to do at UNLV over the past 2 years, obviously one game away from getting in the college football playoff. Hats off to him. So I think Purdue got a great one.
Great. That was our last question. We appreciate your time, Coach.
All right. Thanks, guys.